This conference will now be recorded.
So we'll continue with some other functions. So we'll continue with some other functions which are related to your count. Okay. So count functions. Use the count function to get the number of entries in a number field that is arranged in a range or a array of numbers. So count is used for so to get the number of entries like 2, 5, 6, 7, like that. So get the number of entries in a number field that is in a range or a array of numbers. For that purpose we are using the count functions. So we are going to learn four things here, that is counter, count blank and countif. Counter is nothing but so it is used to count the text related data. So it is used to count the text related data. In that time we are using the counter function. Okay. Count is it is used to count the number related data. So data. So count blank. So it is used to count the empty or a blank cells in a table or the data. Countif used okay, it is used when you have the criteria. So criteria is nothing but greater than, less than, equals to. So in that time we are using the count if function. Got it, or can I explain it once?
Got it,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
can you talk about COUNTIF once again?
Okay, sure, Pa. So think that I have some data. Okay, for example, in your colleges, so we'll get the internal marks. Okay, so I want a number of people, okay, who has taken the marks greater than, greater than 58 or 68. So in that time we are using the count if function. So when you have a criteria or the condition like the particularly less than, equals to, or the greater than, so in that time we are using the count if. Got it, or can I
Got it.
explain it once?
Yes, yes, got it. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So any doubt regarding the remaining count blank or the count if? If you have any query, let me know. I'll explain it once.
No queries,
Fine then.
ma'am.
Okay. So I'll open a some date Excel here. We'll work on it. Okay. So I'll go for okay. I'll go for a Teams matches one. So we'll go for some. So we are going we'll create one data here which is related to number of teams and matches won. So DCSRH LSG fine. Gujarat Titans then
And CSK.
okay CSK the one more GTM IRCB.
Kolkata.
Okay, cake Kolkata. DC LSG will go for. So I have some data here which is related to your okay matches. So by using this data, so we are going to learn about counter, countif, count blank, and count functions. Okay. So first thing I'll go for counter, count, count blank, countif. The first question is, so I'll just click on this merge and center. Okay, how many teams are participated in the IPL? Okay. So the first question is what? How many teams are participated in the IPL? Okay. So the first thing counter is used for when you want to count the data which is related to your text. Okay. So in that time we are using the counter option. So the first thing is so equals to counter after that value. Okay, the question is how many teams are participated in the IPL. So I'm using here equals to counter, open the bracket. I'll select this number teams name. Okay, I'll select the team's name. So equals to counter, open the bracket, select the data, close the bracket, click on enter button. Okay, so how many teams are participated? 9 teams are participated in the IPL. Any doubt?
Once again, ma'am.
Sure, pa. You got the meaning of counter?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So equals to counter.
Excuse me, mom.
Yes, pa.
Mom,
Pa. Am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am, you are.
What about that girl? You're telling something to me, no? Okay, fine. So I'm explain it once. You can see a equals to counter because I want to count the text related data. So I'm using here counter option. So equals to counter. So after selecting it, select the team's name. Select the team's name equals to counter. Open the bracket. Select the text related data. So I'm selecting the team's name here. Close the bracket. Close the bracket. Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Click on enter option. So 9 teams are participated in the IPL. So I'll just select it. Okay, the next question. The next question is how many teams are won the matches in how many teams have won the match in the IPL? So the next question is how many teams won the matches in the IPL? So I'm using here equals to count. Okay, count is used to count the number related data. So count is used to count the number related data. So I'll open the bracket. I'll open the bracket equals to count. Open the bracket. Select the number of matches won. Select the number of matches won. Close the bracket. Close the bracket. Click on enter option. Got it or can I explain it once?
Got it, ma'am.
Okay, fine then. So the next question.
Ma'am, once more, please.
Oh, okay. So count is used to count the number related data in your table. So I'm using here equals to count. Open the bracket. Select the number of matches won. Okay. So after selecting your number related data in your table, close the bracket. Any doubt till here? If you want, I'll explain it once.
No, ma'am, got it.
Okay. Click on enter option. So the next question is how many teams did not won any one of the match? So here count blank is there. So it is used to count the number of empty cells in your selected data or a table. So how many teams did not won any one of the match in the IPL? So I'm using here count blank option. So equals to count blank equals to count blank. So I'll select the range here. So my range is matches one column. So I am selecting this. So equals to count blank. Open the bracket. Select the range or the data. Close the bracket. Close the bracket. Click on enter option. Got it or can I explain it once?
Got it, ma'am.
Got it, ma'am.
Okay. So the last one is, as we discussed, that countif. Countif is nothing but when you have a criteria. Okay. So like greater than, less than, equals to. So I want to know how many teams won the matches more than 10 times. So I want to know the how many teams won the matches more than 10 times. Okay. So I'm using a count if function because I have a criteria like more than, less than, equals to. So I'll use equals to count if equals to count if. So I'll select the range. So this is my range. Any doubt till here?
No, ma'am.
Fine then. Equals to count if, open the bracket, select the range, that is matches 1, comma, with the criteria. So what is my criteria here?
Greater than 10.
So use here greater than symbol, greater than 10. So close the quotation, close the bracket. So click on enter option. 4 teams. Can you see here? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 teams won the matches more than 10 times. Any doubt?
Once again, ma'am.
Sure.
Ma'am, once again.
Equals to. So here I have some criteria. So that is more than 10 times. I want how many teams won the matches more than 10 times. So I'm using a count if. So equals to count if equals to count if. So can you see your range? So I'm selecting the range, that is matches 1, comma. After this range, what is my criteria? My criteria is greater than 10. My criteria is greater than 10. So I'll close the quotation. Any doubt till here? If you want, I'll explain it once.
Got it, ma'am.
Okay. So close the bracket. Click on enter button. So this is count if. So here I have the option more than. Can you guide me if how many I want to know how many teams won the matches less than 10 times. Can you guide me? What is the formula for that?
Ma'am, count if.
Equals to count
Yeah.
if. Okay.
Selecting data.
Selecting the
Select
data,
the data. Okay.
comma, inverted comma, less than symbol 10.
Less than symbol 10. Good.
Close the bracket.
Close the,
Okay.
close the inverted comma
So
and close the bracket.
okay. Click on enter button. Okay. So you can see here. So this is how we are going to work in a count functions. Okay, greater than, less than, same thing you can apply for equals to also. Okay, so this is all about your what? Count functions. If you have any query regarding any of the functions, let me know. I'll give a 1 minute of time to you. You just go through that. If you have any query, let me know. I'll explain it once.
No, ma'am.
Okay, fine then. So the next one we are going to learn, that is round functions. So round function, where the number is a number you want to round and the decimal places is the number of decimal places you want to round to. So of course it is used for rounding the decimal places. Okay, so in this we are going to learn about normal rounding, round up, round down, rounding with decimal. Okay, any doubt the meaning which is related to your round? If you have any
No,
query,
ma'am.
let me know. I'll explain it once. Okay, fine. So normal rounding. Okay, so normal rounding is nothing but if the decimal places is greater than zero point 0.5, okay, it will take the next number. If the decimal places is less than zero point 0.5, it will take the previous number. That we call it as a normal rounding. What is normal rounding? If the decimal places greater than zero point 0.5, the decimal place's value is greater than zero point 0.5, it will take the next number. If the decimal place's value is less than zero point 0.5, it will take the previous number. Got it, or can I explain it once?
Got it.
Okay, round up. Round up is nothing but whether the decimal place's value is greater than or less than zero point 0.5, it take the next number only. That we call it as round up function. Round down is nothing but whether the decimal place's value is greater than zero point 0.5 or less than zero point 0.5, take the previous number. Rounding with the decimal, if you want to round any value in a table with a decimal places, in that time we are using rounding with decimal. Do you have any query regarding any of the point?
The last one, ma'am, rounding with decimal.
Rounding with a decimal is nothing but I have some data here. Okay, for example, I'll type some data equals to round. I'll select the number, comma. I want number of digit, like I want a two decimal places, three decimal places. So you can type here the decimal places, close the bracket, click on enter button. So it will round with the two decimal places. That we call it as a rounding with decimal. Got it, or can I explain it once?
Ma'am, once more.
Okay, pa. So see here. Oh, fine. When you want to round any set of numbers with some decimal places, in that time we are using the rounding with decimal. The formula I'll explain it to you, just listen to me. Equals to round, open the bracket, this is my number, okay, comma, I want to round this number with the two decimal places. So number of digit I'm using here, two decimal places I want, so I'm using here 2. I'll close the bracket, click on enter button. Got it now, or can I explain it once?
Got it, ma'am.
Ma'am, what is the
Confirm.
command used to round up?
I'll tell you one by one, I'll explain with the example. Okay,
Yes.
okay, so I'll type some data here. I'll take some numbers here. Okay. So round. Okay, so I have some numbers here. So can you see here we have some decimal places here. If the decimal places is next more than zero point 0.5, it take the next number. If the decimal places is less than 0.5, take the same number, that is 65, 46, like that. Okay, or the previous number. So that is normal rounding. So I'm using the formula. Okay, equals to round, equals to round, open the bracket, open the bracket, number. You can see a number. So I'm selecting the number here, comma. Can you see after number we have a number digit. Number digit is nothing but how many decimal places you want. I don't want any decimal places. For that purpose I'm using here 0. If you want a decimal places, you can give 2, 3, 1, like that. Any doubt? If you want, I'll explain it once. Equals to round, open the bracket, select the number. After selecting the number, comma, I don't want any decimal places. For that purpose, I'm using here 0. So close the bracket, click on enter option. Got it, or can I explain it once?
Got it, ma'am.
Okay. So I'll just select it and I'll drag it. Can you see here? So my decimal, after my decimal places are, it is less than 0.5. So it is taking this 65. The next number, my decimal places are more than 0.5. So it is taking the next number, that is 47. Here also less than 0.5 is there. So it's taking the 33. Greater than 0.5, the next number. So this is normal rounding. Okay. Round up. So round up, whether the value after decimal places, the value is greater than 0.5 or less than 0.5, it will take the next number. So I'll take the equals to round up, equals to round up. I'll select the number, I'll select the number, comma, number of digit. So I am taking here 0. The reason behind that is I don't want any decimal places. For that purpose I am using the 0 there. Close the bracket, close the bracket, click on enter option. You can see here the value is less than 0.5, but it is taking the next number because the formula is round up. So always it take the next number.
Once again, ma'am.
Okay, pa. Equals to round, round up, equals to round up. I'll select the number, I'll select the number, comma. So I'm number digit, I'm taking here 0. The reason is I don't want any decimal places for my numbers. So I'm taking a 0 here. After that, I'll close the bracket. Got it, or can I explain it once?
Got it, ma'am.
Okay. So click on enter option. You can drag it. So the next one, round down. So according to this formula, whether the value is greater than 0.5 or less than 0.5, it will take the same number. I'm using here equals to round down, equals to round down. I'll select the number, I'll select the number, comma. I'm using here 0. Round down, open the bracket, select the number, comma, number of digit 0, close the bracket, click on enter option. Got it? So I'll
Yes, ma'am.
select it and drag it. See here, the value is greater than the value is greater than 0.5, but still it is taking the same number because the formula is round down. Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
No,
Okay,
ma'am.
fine then. So rounding with the decimal places. If I want to round the number with the decimal places, you can use this option. So round, open the bracket. So I'll select the number, comma, number of digit. If I want a number of digit like 3 decimal places I want, you can type here 3, close the bracket, click on enter option. Okay,
Once
select it
again.
and yes, I'll tell you, equals to round, equals to round. I'll select the number. After selecting the number, comma, number of digit is there, no? So here I am taking it as a 000. But if I want to round the number with the decimal places, so you have to give the decimal places here. If you want, you can give the 2 decimal places. If you want, give the 1 decimal places. If you want 3, okay, depending upon your requirement, you can set the number of digit here. Any doubt till here?
No, ma'am.
Close the bracket. After closing the bracket, click on enter option. So it will display the number of places with a number of 2 decimal places. So same thing you can apply for the round up also. Equals to round up, select the number, comma, how many decimal places you want. So I want 1 decimal place, close the bracket, enter. Select it and drag it. So same thing go for round down, equals to round down, select the number, comma, I want 3 decimal places, so I'm using here 3, close the bracket, enter. Any doubt regarding rounding with the decimal places?
No, ma'am.
Fine then. Other people?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So these two are
No,
the
ma'am.
next 2 assignments. Okay, fine. The next one. So that is we are going to learn match functions. Maths functions. So we have a different types of match functions. So one by one we are going to learn. So any maths function you know?
And you mean addition, subtraction?
Okay.
No, am I right?
Tell me, ma.
Okay. You mean maths function related to addition, subtraction, multiplication?
Okay, fine. Only these are the maths function.
No, division, percentage,
Okay,
averages.
averages. So some of the function. some of the functions we are going to learn. Okay, first one is abs function. Abs stand for absolute. Okay, so what is this absolute function? So for example, I'll explain with an example. I have some numbers here, so I'll take it as a 52. So I have some numbers here for this. So I have some data here. So I'll use a one normal formula here, equals to 52 minus 85. So I'm using your normal formula, equals to 52. I'll select the cell minus, okay, the another one, that is D2. Click on enter button. Can you see here? I'm getting the answer with the negative sign. Okay. Now I want the same answer without this negative sign. So I'm using here equals to abs, equals to abs. Abs stand for absolute. Open the bracket, open the bracket. So I'm selecting here 52 minus 85, 62 minus 85. I'll close the bracket, click on enter button. You'll get the same answer without any negative symbol. Got it, or can I explain it once?
Once again, ma'am, from the previous one.
You
Yeah,
got
ma'am,
this
the
one,
first
no?
column.
Yeah. The thing is, absolute is used for removing the negative sign from your number. So for that
Ma'am,
purpose, we are up.
ma'am, can you explain the first column? Like, how do you get that minus 33 minus
Yeah,
28?
E
Yes,
column,
yes.
ma'am.
Listen to the greater value is here. I'm using here equals to 52 is small. Okay. 85 is greater than 52. So that minus value is greater than, no. So when you click on enter option, it will show you the minus 33, because minus value is greater than the plus value. You know about this basic things, I think so.
Yes, ma'am.
Sure, got it, or can I explain it once?
Got it.
Got it.
Okay, fine. Now, so I want the same answer, but I don't want the negative symbol. Okay, so I'm using here abs to remove that. So equals to abs. Fifth, I'll select the number minus, I'll select the greater number. I'll close the bracket, click on enter option. Now you're getting the same answer without a negative symbol in your number. Got it, or can I explain it once?
Got it, ma'am.
Got it.
Okay, fine then. So this is the first function of maths. The second, so you know what power function?
No, ma'am.
Like square root, cube root.
Yeah. Okay, you
Yeah,
know
yeah,
about
ma'am.
this power functions, no? Like 2 to the power 8, 10 to the
Yes,
power
ma'am.
6. Okay, so that we are going to learn here. So I have some numbers here. So I have some number and power. So I'll type some numbers here like uh, 10, 8, 9, 3, 15 and 12. So if I want a 10 to the power 6, 8 to the power 7, 9 to the power 5, 3 to the power 12, 15 to the power 4, 4 to the power 3. Okay, so I'll just select the data. So I know, so first I'll explain with the normal data, like what is this 10 to the power 6. So I'll use equals to 10 into 10 into 10 into 10 into 10. So 10 to the power 6 is nothing but you have to multiply 10 into 10 into 6 times. So click on enter button, you will get the value. So instead of this long procedure, so I'm using here function called as equals to power. Can you see here? Number and power is there. So I'm selecting the number, comma, I'll select the power. Equals to power, open the bracket, select the number, comma, select the power. Any doubt till here? If you want, I'll explain it once.
No, ma'am.
Fine then. I'll close the bracket, click on enter option. You can see here, you'll get the same answer without any effort. So I'll just delete this one. So just select it and drag it. So this is power function. Other people, do you have any query? If you want, I'll explain it once, which is related to your power function. Fine then. So the next one we are going to learn, that is fact. So I'm using here like I want 8 fact. I'll use a number. Eight, 6, 10, 7, 4, 3. You know what is fact? Or the factor you heard about it, no? No one?
Ma'am, you mean like factors of 8 is like 2, 4, 1,
Uh,
like the number
like
divisible.
Okay, no, 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 that is not. So fact is nothing but, so we have to multiply till 1. So like that is equals to 8 into 7 into 6 into 5 into 4, 3, 2, 1. So this is the fact. Okay. So we are going to multiply till 1. So this we call it as a fact. So without using this manual or the long procedure, so we are using here formula equals to fact. Okay, you can type the number, otherwise you can select the number, no issues regarding that. So I'm selecting the number here, I'll close the bracket, click on enter button. So you select it and drag it.
Once again, ma'am.
Any okay. So you got the meaning of it? What is fact?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm using here one formula equals to fact open the bracket. You can type the number, no issues regarding that, but I'm selecting the number here. So after selecting the number, close the bracket. After selecting the number, close the bracket. Okay, so click on OK button. Click on OK button or the enter. So click on enter button. Got it, or can I explain once?
Got it, ma'am.
Okay. So fact function is done. The next one is square root. So I want to find the square root of my number. So I'm using here. So I want to find the square root of my numbers. So I just select it. So I'm using here one formula equals to SQRT equals to SQRT. Open the bracket, select the number, open the bracket, select the number, close the bracket, enter. Okay, equals to SQRT equals to SQRT. Open the bracket, select the number, close the bracket, click on enter option. Got it, or can I explain it once?
Got it.
Okay. So this is square root function. The next one we are going to learn, that is integer. So integer is nothing but, so without decimal places it will display the data for number for you. Okay, so I'll take some decimal places number here. So integer, so I'm using here equals to int int. Okay, so it will show you the whole number without any decimal places, that we call it as a integer. So I'm selecting the number, I'll close the bracket, enter. So when it display the, so it will display the data without any decimal places, that we call it as a integer. Got it, or can I explain it once? If you want, I'll explain it once.
Ma'am, once more.
Okay, you got the meaning of integer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine then. So equals to int, equals to int, open the bracket, equals to int, open the bracket, select the number, select the number, close the bracket, equals to int, open the bracket, select the number, close the bracket. So it convert your number into a whole number. That is the use of your integer. Got it, or can I explain it once?
Got it, ma'am.
Okay. So odd number. If the number is even, it convert your number into a odd. So I'm using here equals to odd. Okay, equals to odd. I'll select the number, equals to odd. I'll select the number. I'll close the bracket. I'll close the bracket. Click on enter option. You can see here. One minute, guys. I just put this. So if you have a odd number, so if you have an even number, it convert into a odd number. Just select it and drag it. You can see a 46, 47, 33. The next odd number it will display for you. Okay.
Ma'am, but
Hmm.
65 is an already odd number, so it should show 65 only, right?
See here, it is taking the next odd number. Can you see a 65? After that, we have a 66. Then we have a 60.
Oh, okay. So we'll take the next odd number out for us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Any doubt? Okay, fine. Even number equals to even. Open the bracket. I'll select the number. I'll close the bracket. Enter. You can see here. It will take the next even number. Here we have 46. Okay. It is taking the 48. Okay. Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So the next is we are going to learn, and I'll just want to explain with a Roman. You know the Roman number, no? Roman numbers.
Yes, ma'am.
So you can convert your numbers into a Roman number. So equals to Roman, equals to Roman. I'll select the number. I'll select the number. Close the bracket. Click on enter button. You can see here. It will convert your numbers into a Roman number. Any doubt?
Ma'am, can you show it again?
Okay, pa. So I have some numbers here. So I want to convert my numbers into a Roman numbers. So I'm using here equals to Roman, equals to Roman. After selecting the formula, select your number or click on your number. Otherwise, you can type it. So after selecting the number, I'll close the bracket. After selecting the number, I'll close the bracket. Any doubt till here?
No, ma'am.
Okay, click on enter option. You can see here. You can select it and you can drag it. Otherwise, you can use equals to Roman, open the bracket. You can give any number here, close the bracket, enter. That's it. You can select the number, otherwise you can type the number. Fine.
Understood.
Next. Okay. So the next one are important, that is mode, ceiling, floor. Okay.
Once again, ma'am, the Roman function.
Okay, pa. You got this one, no? Or I have to explain this?
Ma'am, again, ma'am.
Okay. So you can type any numbers. I'm using here equals to Roman, open the bracket, equals to Roman, open the bracket. So you have to select the number. So I'm selecting the number here. Otherwise, you can type the number within the bracket. So I'm selecting the number here. After selecting the number, I'll close the bracket. After selecting the number, close the bracket, click on enter button. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
After that, select it and drag it. So any doubt regarding any of the functions? So whatever we
No, ma'am.
have discussed till now. So the next
No,
one is,
ma'am.
okay. The next we are going to learn, that is mode. That is modules, or uh, we call it as a modules. Okay. So I'll go for the mode function. In bracket, I'll type it as a module. Okay. So one more name you can call it as a, it will show you the reminder. Okay. So for example, I'll take some number here. Divide. So number and the divisor. So I'm taking some numbers here. So I'll take some numbers. Oh, no. So I'll take a number here like 64. Okay, 33. Okay, I'll take it as 363. 590. 968. 367. 720. 258. 870. So I'll go for divisor number. I'll go for 4, 9, 3, 4. We'll go for 8. This will go for 6, 5. Okay. So I'll select it. So I want to know the remainder of my data. Okay. So I'm using here equals to mode, equals to mode, open the bracket, open the bracket. After opening the bracket, can you see a number? So I'm selecting the number, comma, The next one is divisor. So I'm selecting the divisor. Any doubt regarding the formula? So mode is used to know the remainder of the number, okay, of our data. So I'm using here equals to mode. I'll select the number, comma, divisor. Got it, or can I explain it once?
Ma'am?
Apa?
Ma'am, so the divisors are the numbers you have randomly put, or like they are actually divisible by the number?
No, 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 randomly, ma.
Okay.
So divisor and the number. I'm just giving an example to you. You can take any numbers, any divisor, and you just go for the what's the remainder, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
By using the mode function. The other people, do you have any query? If you want, I'll explain it once. Otherwise, I'll continue.
No, ma'am, no doubt.
Okay, I'll close the bracket. Click on enter option. Okay, you can see here. So I'll select it and drag it. So 3 is the remainder for these two numbers, dividend and the divisor, and 5, 2, 3, and the remaining things are 0. Okay, there is no remainder for these two things. If I take it as a 5, so 3 is the divisor.
Can I see the formula, ma'am, once again?
Okay, pa, I'll explain it to you. You got the meaning of mode?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, equals to mode, equals to mode, open the bracket, open the bracket, number, select the number, comma, divisor. So divisor is 4. Okay, any doubt till here?
No, ma'am.
Close the bracket, click on enter button. So when you click on this enter button, it will display the reminder for you. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
other people, do you have any query? If you don't have, we'll continue with the next formula. Okay, fine. So the next formula is ceiling. Okay, so what is the use of it? So ceiling is used for next divisible number. It will display the next divisible, next next divisible number. Okay, equals to ceiling, equals to ceiling. Okay, so got the meaning of ceiling? Ceiling is nothing but it will display the next divisible number. So I'm using here equals to ceiling number. So I'm selecting the number, comma, significance. Significance is a divisor. So I'm using here divisor. Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
So close the bracket, click on enter button. So you can see here the next divisible number is 364. The next divisible number is 364. So that is the use of your ceiling formula. Got it, or can I explain it? Other people?
Ma'am, can you explain it again?
Okay. You got the meaning of ceiling, ma?
Yes, ma'am. Only the formula.
Okay. Equals to ceiling open the bracket. Okay, so after opening the bracket, number. Okay, so number I am selecting this. I want to know what is the next divisible number, comma. So significance, so I am selecting this significance. After selecting this significance, any doubt till here?
No, ma'am. Understood till here.
Close the bracket, enter. So the next divisible number is 364. The last one is flow. Okay, so which is used for, it will show you the previous divisible number. So I'm using here equals to floor. So number. So I'm selecting the number. So after selecting the number, comma, significance. So I'm selecting the significance number. Any doubt till here? Same formula, but the thing is here we are using the floor, there we are using the ceiling. Ceiling is next divisible number, floor is previous divisible number. Other people?
Yes, ma'am.
Understood, ma'am.
Okay. Close the bracket, click on enter option. You can see here the previous divisible number is 360. Just select it and drag it. So these are the some maths functions. So we discussed today, that is count function. In count function, counta, count, count blank, countif. Counta, which is related to your text function. Count, which it helps us to count, which is related to your number. Count blank, the empty cells. Countif, when you have a criteria like greater than, less than. So in that time we are using this count functions. Next, rounding.
Excuse
Round.
me, ma'am.
Yes, Pa, tell me.
Can you teach count if, ma'am?
Okay, fine.
Like I was not there due to network issues, ma'am.
Okay, the remaining things you know, ma, counta, count, count blank.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, pa. So countif is nothing but when you have a criteria like more than, less than, equals to. So in that time we are using the countif function. See here, how many teams won the matches? I want to know how many teams won the matches more than 10 times. So I'm using here countif because I have some criteria there. So I'm using here equals to countif equals to countif. After that, range. So I'm selecting the matches won. This is my range, comma, comma, criteria. Okay, criteria. My criteria is with a double quotation greater than 10. Any doubt till here? If you want, I'll explain it once.
No, ma'am.
Okay, close the quotation, close the bracket, enter. So it will display the numbers. Okay, how many times won the matches greater than or the more than 10 times. And we discussed regarding round, round up, round down, rounding with decimal places.
Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am,
Yes, pa. Papa.
can you show that count page, ma'am? That sheet.
Papa.
Ma'am, in that, ma'am, wherever the empty cells are there, no, ma'am, in the match one,
Okay.
wherever the empty cell near DC and CSK, In the
Okay.
place of that, if we type as 0, ma'am, what will be the count answer, ma'am, there? How many teams won the matches in the IPL?
So automatically take it as a 8. The thing is, empty is nothing but the blank cell. Okay, it will count only the empty cells. Okay,
Okay,
that is
ma'am.
the reason I didn't give the 0 there. If I type here 0, okay, automatically can you see here the count blank
Yes,
is
ma'am.
1, the count is 8. So don't give any 0 or things there. So empty. So it will count the empty or the blank cells in a given data or the table. Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay, round. Okay, so we're done with a round up, round down, rounding with decimals. So maths function. So in maths function, we discussed apps, power function, fact function,
Ma'am,
square root.
can you show
Appa.
the formula of power function again?
Sorry, I
Might
didn't
there
get
was
you.
some network issue. Can you show power function again? There was some network issue for me.
Okay, pa. So I want the 10 to the power 6. So you can go for the lengthy process. Otherwise, we are using a power equals to power, open the bracket, number. So I'm selecting the number here, comma, power. So I'm selecting the power. Any doubt?
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Understood.
Click, close the bracket, click on enter button. So fact, square root,
Mom, can you
integer.
teach square root function, mom?
Okay, fine. So if I want to know the square root of my numbers, so I'm using here equals to sqrt equals to sqrt, select the number, close the bracket. You can select, otherwise you can type it, no issues regarding that. Click on enter option. So it will show you the square root number, square root of your number. Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Hapa?
can I just explain fact formula also, ma'am?
Which one?
Fact function formula.
Fact. Okay. Where? Okay, fine. Equals to fact, open the bracket, select the number, close the bracket. Equals to fact, open the bracket, select the number, close the bracket. Any doubt?
Can you
No, ma'am.
explain what is
Thank
fact,
you.
ma'am?
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Fact meaning. Fact
Fact
function.
is nothing but whatever number is there. So we are going to multiply that number till 1. Nothing but 8 into 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Got it?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you guys work on it. If you have any query regarding any of the option, we'll have a discussion on that. Okay, that is tomorrow's class.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, give me 1 minute. I'll take attendance.